Content strategy is a very important part of every successful online brand. In this video, I'll show you how you can use AI to fast-track the process of building a content strategy for any niche. We'll be using ChatGPT SE Ranking and NotebookLM for wedding makeup business as an example to walk you through the entire process. By the end, you will know exactly how to do it step by step. Let's go. Before we start, we first need to understand what makes a good content strategy. A good content strategy is to give you clarity on what content to create and where to distribute it to drive results for your business. So it's a strategic approach instead of just randomly creating content to achieve your business KPI. If we take the example of a wedding makeup business, here are the core components of a content strategy. Clear goals that aligns with your business offerings, which will be translated into a set of KPIs like organic traffic growth, keyword rankings, or branding metrics such as brand search volumes or mentions. Deep audience understanding, knowing exactly who you're creating content for. For wedding makeup, it could be luxury brides with higher budgets, destination wedding clients, etc. Topic cluster and keywords, so you can better organize and plan content in a way that search engines and users understand. Content types and formats, to match how your audience prefer to consume information. And finally, distribution, where to get your content in front of the right people. Another thing to note here is that content strategy isn't static. It evolves through iterative refinement based on the latest performance data and audience feedback. So as a good practice, you should review the strategy from time to time. Alright, now let's go step by step to see how AI can help you build this framework faster and more effectively. The first step is to research your target audience and understand what matters to them, as this will tell you what topics they will find more useful and resonate with. There are so many ways to understand your target audience. Besides doing surveys or interviews, one of my favorite ways is to do social listening and pull real user questions from forums like Reddit or Quora, because they represent the real problems your audience is facing today. Assuming our target audience is detail-oriented brides aged 28 to 35 who are millennials and like to research extensively, we can start by gathering a list of questions on Google using this search operator. What it does is it pulls search results only from the wedding planning subreddit and filter threads that contain question words like how, what, and when. You will then see it filter relevant search results from the subreddit. And I want to point out that these are all real user questions about wedding makeup. Our tip here is if you are searching in Chrome, you can install Infinite Scroll and Search Snippet Extractor plugins to enable infinite scrolling and copy all search results in one click. You can then pass them into spreadsheets to pass these questions to AI for analysis. Another way is to pull questions from SE Ranking's keyword research tool. Go to keyword research under research, type in just the keyword for your business niche. In this case, we're using wedding makeup. Then check the section for commonly asked question about these keywords. Click to view the detailed report. What you should end up seeing is a list of the top questions people asked about wedding makeup. You can then export the list of questions to an Excel or CSV file. Just don't forget to copy it to your master question list and save it. Of course, you can also use the search functions on ChatGPT to pull a list of top questions people ask about wedding makeup. So go to ChatGPT, turn on search, and use this prompt to ask for the most commonly asked question about wedding makeup on Reddit or Quora. Once the analysis is ready, you will get a list of the top asked questions on the topic. Again, copy them onto the same spreadsheet. And if you want, you can also ask ChatGPT to export the file to Excel. Next, we'll upload these spreadsheets to ChatGPT for audience analysis. I actually recommend using the reasoning model because I found it to work better for this kind of analysis. So upload the question list and use this prompt to ask it to analyze all the questions and identify the top pain points, motivations, knowledge gaps, and key decision factors when choosing a wedding makeup surface. Then you will see it will give you a really detailed analysis about the audience pain point, like being uncertain about the final look, how to make sure the makeup is long-lasting, as well as the top motivations to look more confident and common knowledge gaps about makeup products and skincare routine. Then copy this response, paste it into a Word document, and save it as the audience research insight. We are not done yet. We also want to look at the competitors to understand the target audience. First, using SE Ranking, we can check some of the top market players for this niche. We can type our niche wedding makeup surface for our target region, the United States. Then go to the search overview section and view the detailed report. From here, we can see the top market players that are also ranked in this niche. Carefully look through them and pick the ones that have a similar business model as you for comparison. For this step, I suggest picking at least 3 to 5 competitors. Furthermore, we can also use Google's NotebookLM, the AI note-taking app, to reverse engineer your chosen competitor's service page messaging so you can get more understanding about what type of audience they are targeting. So let's create a new notebook in NotebookLM and import the competitors we have selected in the wedding makeup service. Make sure all sources are selected and then use this prompt to analyze the potential target audience, what pain points they address, and if there is any audience segment they have overlooked. And that way, you will immediately get insights about your competitors. Just make sure to save them in the same master document before proceeding. Now that we have gathered the insights about our target audience, let's move on and define our content topic cluster. In simple terms, topic cluster are groups of related content organized around a central theme. They don't just help search engines understand your site's topical authority, but also help you plan out content strategically to make sure it fully covers your audience needs. A tip here is that when building our content strategies, not all topics should be addressed with equal priority. The topic highly relevant to your business with lower competition should be prioritized first, as they represent the biggest opportunities for your business. Typically, there are 2 approaches depending on how broad your niche is. For broader niches, you might need a more granular approach, starting from niche, then topics, and then subtopics. And underneath, we have keywords. But if your niche is more narrow, like our wedding makeup example, then you can go more simple. Niche, topics, and keywords. Now let me show you how to use AI to identify these clusters effectively. First, we will use SE Ranking to gather keyword data on our niche, wedding makeup. Again, go to keyword research, type in the keyword wedding makeup, and you will see the data overview for this keyword. Then click the View Detail Report under the similar keywords section. Here, you will see a list of keywords that users search for and which are thematically related to wedding makeup. Sort by search volume. So, for example, we have natural makeup for wedding and simple makeup for wedding. Since we'll do the analysis using AI, we will not do any filtering for this list. Again, make sure to export the keywords into an Excel file before moving on. We will clean up the data a bit by removing unnecessary columns and leaving only the keywords, difficulty, and search volume. And for data analysis efficiency, we will also analyze only the first 1,000 keywords. So just remove the remaining rows and save it as a separate file. Now upload the keyword data, question data, and the audience insight we gather in step 1 to ChatGPT and use this prompt to ask it to identify 3 to 5 core topic clusters that make sense for this target audience. Then you will see it will quickly help build different topic clusters like bridal makeup confidence, wedding makeup longevity, key prep, and pre-wedding routines, budgeting, all of which address the key concerns of our audience. Then we can also ask ChatGPT to propose 3 to 5 topic clusters based on the current industry trend and needs of these audience demographic. Make sure you turn on search. As a result, ChatGPT will give you topic cluster suggestions like natural wedding makeup, which is a trend, as well as DIY bridal beauty. Now turn off search and use this prompt to ask the AI to consolidate all the findings from the available data and come up with a list of refined topic cluster containing the top keywords and questions. Next, ask ChatGPT to prioritize these clusters on a scale of 1 to 3, where priority 1 represents the most relevant cluster with lower competition, and priority 3 represents the most competitive and broad ones. Doing so will help you prioritize clusters based on the analyzed data. For example, long-lasting wedding makeup clusters should be prioritized as they are more relevant to our business and are less competitive. A bonus tip here is that you can also use SE Ranking to do high-level keyword clustering. So go to SE Ranking and access the keyword grouper tool located under the research tab. This tool was developed to automatically organize keywords into groups based on their search result similarity. You can just keep the default settings, upload your keyword list here, and start the clustering process. So with AI's help, you can quickly know what the potential clusters are and which one you should focus on first to grab the best opportunity. By end of this step, we should know what core topic cluster we need to create content for, which promising keywords we should target, and what question we should be addressing in our content. Now that we have defined our topic cluster, it's time to identify specific content gaps for these topic cluster, as in areas where our competitors are ranking or doing well, but we are not. To do a content gap analysis, we need to gather two pieces of information: a list of existing content organized by topic cluster and a list of competitor ranked keywords that our brand doesn't rank for. Let's assume this is our brand and this is the list of our blog content. Now, if we just need to pull out content pieces from this blog and assign them by topic cluster, we can do that with ChatGPT. So turn on search mode, then use this prompt to ask it to access this page and organize all blog articles into the topic cluster we have identified in the previous step. Just don't forget to clarify what the required output format is. You will then see that ChatGPT will immediately start grouping our existing content into groups, which will be useful for our analysis in later step. For now, copy the response to a Word document, clean up the data a bit, and save it. As for our list of competitive ranked keywords, we can actually get this data quickly with the help of SE Ranking. Let's say this is the competitor we selected in the previous step. Let's go to SE Ranking's competitive research tool. Type in your brand domain and you will get an overview of your domain search activities. Next, go to competitor comparison and enter your competitor's domain to get a comparison of how your domain stack up against its main digital viral with regard to traffic and keywords. Under the keyword section here, you will see a list of missing keywords sorted by search volume. This is a list of keywords that your competitor is ranking for, but your domain is not. Again, export this list of competitor ranked keywords into an Excel file. It should look something like this. Again, remember to clean the file by removing unnecessary column and keeping only the keywords, difficulty, and search volume columns. For efficiency, limit the list to the first 1,000 rows and save it as a competitor ranked keyword file. Then we also want to export a list of the top ranked pages for these competitors' websites to make sure our analysis is as comprehensive as possible. You can easily get this data from the organic traffic research section in SE Ranking. So just click on the page section where you will see a list of their top ranked pages sorted by traffic share, and you will notice that most of them are actually blog pages. You know the drill. Export this list, clean up the data for analysis, and keep only the URL, page title, and traffic share columns. Be sure to save this file as competitor top ranked pages. Now we're ready to move on to the content gap analysis. In ChatGPT, upload the topic cluster map, your list of existing content, and the competitor's top ranked pages. Then use this prompt to ask ChatGPT to identify any potential content gaps compared to the competitor, any new keyword opportunities within the existing topic cluster, as well as any new topic cluster you should consider. It's very important to also ask ChatGPT to only refer to the competitive ranked keywords that you will paste in the chat when proposing new keyword opportunities. And that way, it won't generate anything randomly. Next, instead of uploading the keyword file, paste the list directly into the chat to avoid any issue with file reading, especially since we're already working with multiple attachments in the prompt. You will then see that it gives you detailed potential topic gaps like foundations, makeup by skin tone, and other areas you might have missed. It will also suggest keyword opportunities you can add to your existing cluster, along with potential new topic cluster based on what your competitors are ranking for. We can then attach the audience research insights we gathered earlier and ask ChatGPT to update the topic cluster map based on these gap analysis and audience data. Doing so will help identify gaps that represent some high-value opportunities. The AI will then provide you with a detailed, improved version of your cluster map, outlining which extra keywords to add to each cluster as well as the priority level. Again, copy the response and save it as a refined topic cluster file. And by end of this step, we will have a clear overview of which content topics we should build and where we need to improve. Now that we have refined the topic cluster from the content gap analysis, the next step is making sure our content actually guides your potential audience through the decision journey. This is actually one of the most important steps in your content strategy planning because we are now connecting all those topic clusters directly to the customer journey. Typically, a customer journey has 3 key stages before someone becomes your customers. Awareness refers to the content that educates your audience about their problems or needs. Consideration, as in content that presents your business offerings as a solution, and decision making the content that helps your audience take action, whether it's making a purchase or another key conversion. So how can we use AI to help with this? We can now take the topic cluster from the previous step and ask ChatGPT to analyze them and suggest content ideas that covers all key funnel stages. Now go to ChatGPT and attach the audience research insights you prepared earlier along with the refined topic cluster. Then use this prompt to ask it to propose content ideas for each cluster, making sure the ideas cover all funnel stages. These content ideas should address your audience pain point and motivations. Then request it to output the results in a table format with the specific column. Now you will see that ChatGPT is following my instruction and is grouping the content ideas by priority topic cluster, including suggestions for each funnel stage along with the target keyword. All of this should give you a clear, structured picture of how to strategically plan your content. Keep in mind that this funnel mapping isn't one-time on-off exercise. You will need to adapt and refine it further based on your business goals and the content you already have. For example, if your content audit shows that your business is already strong in awareness content and your goal is to drive more conversions, you may need to prioritize more bottom funnel content in your strategy. So the key here is to create balanced content plan that meets both your audience needs and your business objective. And by end of this video, you should have a funnel online content plan that address audience pain points at every stage of their journey. Alright, now that we have the content plan, it's time to design on the most effective content types and format based on search intent and your audience preferences. To give you an idea, content types can include blog posts, case studies, newsletters, and infographics. As for content format, it can be text, audio, video, or PDF. And with AI, we can easily get suggestions for the best content types and format for each topic cluster and funnel stage. In ChatGPT, upload the refined content plan from the previous step and use this prompt to ask it to recommend the optimal content types and formats for each content idea. Be sure to ask it to consider the search intent behind each keyword and the specific funnel stage. Then you will see that it provides recommendations based on your existing priority cluster and content. For example, for natural versus glam wedding makeup, it suggests creating a detailed comparison guide. And for other cluster idea like should you do your own wedding makeup, it recommends a blog post with infographics to capture image search demand. Once you have this, you can go even deeper and double-check the search intent behind each of your chosen target keywords to make sure your content aligns with what searchers expect. For example, one of the target keywords in our content plan is natural makeup for wedding. The easiest way to check this is to go to SE Ranking, type in this keyword, and review the detailed SERP overview report. Look at the top ranked results for this keyword in your target region. What content types and formats are they using? So in this case, you'll probably see a mix of content formats like image results, YouTube videos, Pinterest posts. So these will give you valuable insights to fine-tune your content planning. And on top of that, you will notice that most of the top 10 results focus on natural wedding makeup ideas or compare it with glam styles, which matches what we already have in our plan. You can also review articles like this one, Wedding Day Makeup Dilemma, to see what exact content ideas they cover and use them as points of reference during your actual content creation process. Got another tip for you. Certain content types work better on specific platforms. So when finalizing your content calendar, also consider your audience preferences to determine where to distribute your content. Like in this example, if your target audience is millennial brides aged 28 to 35, then perhaps you should prioritize social media platforms like YouTube, Pinterest for distribution. By end of this step, you will have a fully detailed content plan with content types and distribution platforms, which you can later turn into a structured content calendar ready for execution. Alright, we have now gone through the entire process of using AI to build a content strategy. Let's quickly recap what we have learned. First, we use AI to analyze audience research and understand our target audience pain points and motivations. Then, with the help of AI, we define clear topic cluster and prioritize them based on comparative analysis. And then we conduct a detailed content gap analysis to identify opportunities and refine our topic cluster map. And then we use AI to generate content ideas that cover each funnel stage of the customer journey. And finally, AI helps us identify the best content formats and distribution channel to complete our our content strategy. So with AI and SEO tools, you can now quickly create a strategic content plan that aligns with your target audience needs. I hope you find this lesson valuable, and I encourage you to try this method for business or projects.